The practice room secret. What happened when the cameras stopped? Locked doors, open mic. The confession that leaked by accident, without any announcement. Without any warning, this moment quietly shook the global scene. Welcome to V Effect. For years, Jungkook kept this hidden not from the world, but from Taehyung himself. But now a single leaked moment has fans crying, shaking and questioning everything they thought they knew about BTS. Because this isn't just about friendship. This is about feelings that were buried, ignored and finally revealed. And once you hear what Jungkook really said, you will never look at Taehyung the same way again, that it was supposed to be just another quiet night. No cameras and no script and no managers standing behind the doors. No lights and no stage. Just two people who had shared years of laughter, pain, success, exhaustion and secrets. Taehyung sat by the window of the practice room, hoodie pulled over his head, staring at the city lights below. Hybe's building. His phone rested on his knee, screen still glowing from a message he hadn't replied to behind him. Jungkook stood frozen. He had been standing there for almost a full minute, watching Taehyung's reflection in the glass, his chest rising slowly, his fingers tapping nervously on his thigh. Jungkook opened his mouth twice, then closed it again. This wasn't how it was supposed to happen. He had planned this moment 100 times in his head, but none of those plans included his voice shaking like this. Taehyung, Jungkook finally said. Taehyung turned slowly. Yeah. Jungkook swallowed hard. There's something I need to tell you. The room fell silent and background music and all laughter. Only the faint hum of the air conditioner and the distant noise of Seoul outside. Taehyung's smile faded just a little. You're scaring me, he said quietly. Jungkook took a step forward. Then another. I didn't want anyone to ever hear this, he whispered. Not the fans, not the company, not even you, until I was sure. Taehyung frowned slightly. Sure of what? Jungkook's hands were trembling now. Sure that I wouldn't lose you. That was the first crack. Taehyung stood up. Jungkook, what are you talking about? Jungkook looked down at the floor, his jaw tightening. For years, I've told myself it was just admiration, respect, brotherly affection. I tried to convince myself that the way my heart reacted to you was normal. He laughed softly, but there was no humor in it. But it never was. Taehyung didn't move. He didn't speak. Jungkook finally lifted his eyes. When you smile, my chest feels tight. When you're tired, I worry more than I should. When you get hurt, I feel angry at the whole world. His voice cracked. And when you walk into a room, my brain forgets what it was doing. The silence became unbearable. Tam whispered. Jungkook, I know this changes everything. Jungkook rushed. I know it's dangerous. I know it's complicated, but I'm tired of pretending my heart doesn't react to you. His breathing grew uneven. I don't know when it started. I don't know why. I only know that it never stopped. Taehyung stared at him, eyes unreadable. Then his phone vibrated. Neither of them realized it. They forgotten recording app still running, still listening, still capturing every word. Because earlier that night, Taehyung had been recording a melody idea and never turned it off. And in that single mistake, a secret that had been buried for years was quietly being saved second by second, waiting. Teen didn't notice the tiny red on his phone screen. It tinked quietly, recording, capturing, saving every breath, every word, every pause that filled the room. June had already said too much. He stood there, chest rising and falling fast now, eyes shining with something dangerously close to panic. I'm not asking you to answer me, he whispered. I just needed you to know. Teen finally moved. He took one slow step forward, then another. The city lights reflected in his eyes, confused, overwhelmed, shaken. You're saying, he started. Then stop, he exhaled. You're saying this isn't just friendship to you. June nodded once, barely. I tried to make it be, he said quietly. For years, Teen rubbed the back of his neck, turning away for a second. He looked at the wall, the mirror, the floor, anywhere but Jaehyun. I don't know what to say, he murmured. Jaehyun's heart dropped. That's okay, he said quickly. You don't have to say anything. I swear I didn't tell you to make things awkward. You told me because it was hurting you, Teen said softly. June froze. Teen turned back. Because carrying this alone was hurting you. Silence. June didn't answer, but his eyes did. Teen swallowed. You should have told me earlier. June gave a weak smile. I was scared you'd look at me differently. Teen stepped closer. I already do, he said. Jun's breath caught. Not because of what Teen said, but because of how gently he said it. At that exact moment, a notification flashed on Jun's phone. Low battery point 10%. He frowned, picked it up, and that's when he saw it. The recording timer still running. His blood ran cold. Jae-hoon, he whispered. What? We were being recorded. The room tilted. Jae-hoon's face drained of color. You're joking. I'm not. They stared at the screen. Minutes, dozens of them. All saved. All clear. All dangerous. June whispered. Delete it, please. Right now. Jun's fingers hovered, but his phone lagged. 1% battery. 0%. The screen went black. The file was saved automatically, untouched, unprotected, unhidden, waiting to be found, waiting to be heard. And neither of them knew that 3 days later, a staff member would borrow Jun's phone and accidentally open the one file that would change everything. 3 days later, H-Core Entertainment was louder than usual. Not because of music, not because of laughter, but because of whispers. Teen was in the styling room when it started. Makeup brushes moved across his face. Hairspray filled the air. And yet something felt off. The staff were quieter than normal. Too quiet. Eyes avoided mirrors. Conversation stopped when he looked up. He felt it before he heard it. Something was wrong. In the hallway, a junior staff member hurried past him. Phone clutched tightly to her chest. Her face was pale. Her lips pressed together as if she was trying to hold a secret too big for her mouth. Jun's heart skipped. Minutes later, his manager entered. He didn't smile. Teen, he said, voice careful. Did you lend your phone to anyone last night? Jun froze. Why? The manager hesitated. A file was open. Jun's blood went cold. What file? He asked. The manager swallowed. A voice recording. The room suddenly felt too small. Teen stood up. Who heard it? The manager avoided his eyes. We're still checking. That meant someone already had. Across the building, June was in a practice room running choreography again and again, trying to silence his mind with movement. Sweat dripped down his jaw. His breathing was uneven. He couldn't stop replaying that night. Every word, every pause, every confession. Then his phone vibrated once, twice, then nonstop. Messages poured in. Unknown numbers, group chats, old acquaintances he hadn't spoken to in years. He finally checked one. Did you really say that about Tunis? Is the recording real? Please tell me it's fake. People are talking. Jae-hoon's hand started shaking. He opened social media. A single anonymous post had appeared on a small forum. Blurry audio attached. Barely 30 seconds long. Not the whole file, just enough. Just enough to hear his voice saying, "When you walk into a room, my brain forgets what it was doing." That was all it took. Comments were exploding. Speculation turned into theories. Theories turned into assumptions. Assumptions turned into headlines. Mysterious recording sparks questions about Hore's golden duo. Fans hear confession. Jin sat down slowly on the studio floor. His chest felt tight. His phone vibrated again. This time it was Teen. He stared at the screen for a long second, then answered. "I'm so sorry," Teen whispered. June closed his eyes. "Me too," he replied. Outside, the whispers were already growing louder, and neither of them realized that someone inside the company was quietly deciding whether to bury the full recording or let the world hear everything. The meeting room had no windows, no decorations, no warmth, just a long black table, cold lighting, and 3 people who didn't smile. Teen sat at one end. Across from him, the director of artist management, the legal head, and a PR executive. A tablet lay on the table. On the screen, the paused audio file. The recording. His stomach twisted. "We've contained most of it," the PR executive said carefully. "Only a short clip leaked, but the full file still exists." Teen swallowed. "Delete it." The legal head shook his head. "We can't. It's already been copied." Jun's hands clenched into fists. "So what now?" he asked quietly. The director leaned forward. "Now we control the narrative." Silence. They slid a folder across the table. Inside, a revised contract addendum. New clauses, new restrictions, non-disclosure terms, image control policies, and one line circled in red. All personal interpretations that may imply emotional dependence must be publicly denied. Jun's breath caught. "You want me to say it was fake?" he whispered. The PR executive nodded. "Or misunderstood. Or joking. Anything as long as it kills the speculation." Jun's voice trembled. "And June. We will give him the same terms." Teen looked down at the folder. They weren't just protecting the company. They were erasing something real. "We need your decision," the director said softly. Teen stood up. "I need to talk to him." They hesitated. 10 minutes, the legal head said. "No more." Across the building, June sat alone in a dark practice room. His phone buzzed. "Teen." He answered immediately. "They're making me deny everything," Sheen said. June closed his eyes. "I know," he whispered. "They called me too." Silence. Then Sheen asked, "If I deny it, will you hate me?" Jaehoon's voice cracked. "I could never hate you, but will it hurt you?" "Yes." The word barely came out. Jun's chest tightened. "They're turning something real into a rumor," he whispered. June took a shaky breath. Maybe we let the world think it's fake," he said softly. "So, at least we can keep what's left of our lives." Jun's eyes filled. "And what about what you told me?" June paused. "That was real," he said. "Even if nobody ever believes it." 10 minutes ended. The call disconnected. And Teen walked back into the windowless room knowing that whatever he signed next would decide the rest of their story. The official statement went live at exactly 9 p.m. Every major fanbase account reposted it within minutes. Every entertainment portal pushed notifications. Every comment section exploded. "We confirm that the circulated audio clip has been taken out of context." The conversation was a private discussion between two artists regarding emotional stress and mutual support. There was no romantic implication. "We kindly ask fans to avoid misinterpretation." On paper it sounded clean, professional, safe, but something felt wrong. Fans noticed it immediately. The wording was too careful, too defensive, too rehearsed. And there was one line that made people pause. Mutual support. Why specify that? Why clarify that much? Screenshots were taken. Threads were made. Slowly, quietly, doubt began to grow. Teen sat in his apartment, lights off, phone glowing in his hand. He stared at the statement, the words he had signed. Across the city, June read the same post. Neither of them felt relieved. They felt erased. Jaehoon whispered to himself. They made it sound like it meant nothing. His chest tightened. Because it did mean something. Meanwhile, in a private chat room with thousands of fans, someone typed, "If it was nothing, why does the clip sound like he was confessing?" Another replied, "And why haven't they released the full audio?" Another, "They're hiding something." The phrase started trending. "Release the full recording. Then let them speak. And finally, we believe you." Jun's phone buzzed. A message from June. "They don't believe it." Teen typed back. "Maybe that's a good thing." Jaehoon replied. "Or maybe it's dangerous." Neither of them realized yet that somewhere inside HOR, someone had just found the complete unedited recording and was deciding whether to destroy it or leak it. While most of the city slept, one anonymous account went live. No profile photo, no bio, no history, just a single post. "If you want the truth, here it is." Below a file. The full recording, unedited, uncut, unfiltered. Within minutes, the link spread like wildfire. Private group chats exploded. Fan bases froze in disbelief. Then the first people pressed play. Jaehoon's voice filled thousands of rooms across the world. Not the clipped version, not the 30-second tease, but everything. Every breath, every hesitation, every cracked word. "I tried to make it be just admiration, but it never was. When you smile, my chest feels tight. I'm scared I'll lose you if I tell you the truth." No editing, no dramatic music, just raw, trembling honesty. Teen was asleep when his phone started vibrating non-stop. Messages stacked on top of each other. Unknown numbers, friends, staff, group chats he had muted months ago.